Hello and welcome to BB Tag Top 24 here at Frosty Faustings 2020. I am Jadelyn Gaming and I'm so excited to be joined by Dostro.
Heck yeah, I'm so excited to watch some BB Tag right now.
This is going to be an incredible Top 24. If you're just tuning in, we had pools right before this, finishing out pools, and there have been some incredibly explosive matches, some great close things that just make me so excited, clearly because I forgot how to word briefly. And we have such a diverse Top 24. And I think it's going to be a spectacular show for everybody. So we're going to run Top 24 to 8 during this block, and we're going to see some familiar names. We've got LTL, we've got Seth LOLOL, we've got Kuroko, we've got Bojack. We have some great names up in here.
I'm so excited to see some cheap stuff.
Right, and our
cheap stuff.
Our first match is actually LTL versus Element. So LTL was really well known for his Ruby Gordeau, which he's no longer playing. He is going to be playing, looks like, oh, I can't see who his second character is. Yumi and, oh, can't see. They're waiting to change. So,
now,
all right, we're getting set now.
Hakumane, as we see on player 2 side, Hakumane does some big damage. And has some really cheeky overhead mix-ups with active switch. As well, even Jubei does too. Hakumane Jubei.
He does, definitely. So, yeah, the names, I think the names have switched. LTL should be Naoto Yumi, yeah. So he switched to Naoto Yumi. He's been playing that entirely through bracket. Been doing really well for him. I'm not as familiar with Element's style, so I'm interested to see how it goes up with a veteran player like LTL.
As we see normally with Jubei players, I see them jump up and do the movement special, and they get all the way to the other side while they call an assist in the background to get an easy sandwich and set up for the easy 50-50.
Right. So Yumi's an incredibly explosive character, and if she gets her game going, she's going to get you into the corner.
Easy sandwich.
Yep.
Good counter out by Element. That, well, two characters. This is going to be big damage.
If he can keep this going, it can be at least 8K on both characters, and it will be.
10K. You
so
just
LTL's down at
in
half life in 3 seconds. So now LTL's trying to run his game, get these cross combos going. He switched over to Yumi.
LTL's playing a really good neutral game and setting up these sandwiches so easily and so quickly. And just takes the first character like nothing.
Yeah, LTL has a good mental mindset in the middle of these games, so a lot of people would have been thrown by that happy birthday, but he didn't there, and that's great. So now he's going to carry Hakumane.
Now Naoto does some big damage too. Hakumane, not the biggest, just the big boy on screen.
Oh, good blocking.
LTL does the sway through Hakumane, but Element blocks it. But the pressure by LTL is too good.
Is that a okay, he blocked the super. That could have been huge, and now LTL's going to lose Naoto. All right, so Naoto is out of the game, and we're down to LTL's Yumi.
Uses the counter there to get the frame advantage on the incoming.
Right.
But LTL blocks the instant overhead. Fantastic awareness. These players resetting back to neutral. And Yumi's a little frustrating to play because her projectiles are so good.
That was a great overhead too. I really liked that that LTL is comfortable with waiting and able to just take his time, and that overhead was great. All right, so we're back to character select.
Element taking a second to recompose themselves. I really like this after a game, whether or not you've won, and it appears the Element switching characters.
That's a totally different team. So
this is
Akatsuki
very aggressive.
and Yang, incredibly aggressive.
Akatsuki's has some cheeky overhead setups with his B Tatsu. Not just an Undernight meme, but indeed a BB Tag meme as well. And Yang's got some obnoxious armor on all of her B moves.
Right, and with the 2.0 update, she got more armor on some of those moves.
She can even armor through DPs and supers.
Right.
Ridiculous. And we see Element just disrespecting LTL's pressure and trying to 5B through it.
That was a really nice,
gets a hit.
Yeah, a really nice grab into the super. it's pretty easy to confirm off of that throw from Yang. But LTL doesn't seem phased, which is good.
Good 4P by LTL, just jumping over easily and getting some big damage. Yumi has some really long combos.
All right, we get into semblance with Yang, but I like that there's a lot of aggression on LTL's side to block that DP from coming out initially.
LTL's just doing such a good job of placing the Naoto assist, whether or not he's jumping over.
Okay, so we've got a cross combo with, oh, that was a really
Kuroko
tense moment.
tries to beat Tatsu and get in. When you're in resonance, you can cancel your specials into super, and that would have been some good damage.
Yeah, but I really like the patience on Element's side, even though now LTL's getting to play his game a little bit more. Great active switch into Naoto into the DP.
Get a pickup off this?
And he's dead. All right, so that quickly is 2-0 LTL, so all of these games are going to be 3 out of 5.
BB Tag is such a fast game. We've seen both of these games. We've seen big damage, and they've lasted maybe a little longer than a minute each.
All right, so Element chose to go back to character select. Do you think he's going to do the same characters, or do you think he's going to go ahead and change back to his first team or a third team?
Personally, I think Element was doing better with the Hakumain Jubei team.
Okay.
I think Element had some good placings on his counters, and even Element took a character in the first game, which he didn't in the second.
You're right.
I'm happy to see this character change. I think it looked a little bit more solid in the game 1.
Okay. Yeah, looking to see some adjustments, a little bit more aggression maybe on Element's side.
The counter by Hakumain is a really good reversal option, because even if you get hit by a projectile or an assist, you still get frame advantage. And there we see our first opportunity of reversal action being air unblockable. That was that blue exclamation point. I'd like to see maybe LTL use that with Naoto, because his anti-air is very good.
Yes. A whiff super. Okay, a good DP to recover
Gets the
from
pickup
whiff
off
super.
it, but this is going to be all recoverable health.
It is all recoverable. If he can get Hakuman out, which he does.
Managing health in this game is so important.
It is. And if you're not familiar with the game, you can only recover red health on your character that's in the background, not your active character. So health management is key to making the longevity of your tournament life
A lot
better.
of the time, even if you're down a character and are up on health, having 2 characters can be such a big advantage in a game like this.
Yeah, it's a tag game. You get assists. If you don't have that assist, you're losing a huge part of your gameplay.
Not only is having an extra character a life resource, but it's a defense and offense resource as well.
So like you were saying, going back to this character switch for Element seems to be doing a lot of really good things for him.
What I think he's doing so well right now, he's maintaining neutral pacing and composure much better than he did with Yang and Akatsuki.
Yeah, I felt like that was a little bit more desperate play style from him. Good active switch into the Hakuman so
We
that...
see Element threatening space by keeping Jubei right there.
Yeah, which if he hadn't been, LTL could have easily killed Jubei.
See a pickup by Element, maybe a super, that should be dead.
Okay.
Element's going to want to go into resonance real quickly, which they do.
Yeah, that was good. It blocked all of the damage that came in from Yugi during resonance.
That 4P
Really
by
good
Naoto
assist.
has been so good for LTL, just picking Element out of the screen
It's
super
huge,
easily.
and it extends Yumi's combos so well. And
Yumi's
that
such a
should
good
be-
character with anyone, just about. Yumi is, in my opinion, one of the best support characters in 2.0. Yumi does such a good job of controlling space. Her combos are long enough to recover that cross gauge so that you can get an assist mid-combo or even a cross combo so you can get that added damage.
Right.
And when you get in cross combo, all of that damage is unrecoverable. So that's such an important resource to manage in this game.
yeah, so LTL took that set 3-0. And not unsurprising, he's been seen, top 24, top 8 at tournaments pretty much since the game came out.
Oh yeah, LTL's been such a strong player. I've seen LTL make top 8s at just about everywhere.
Yeah, he was 17th at Arc Rivo, not a small feat, and there were some of the best players in the world there. So it's not unexpected for him to have taken that, but it is neat to see him competing not Ruby Gordo. And
Gordo got huge nerfs even before 2.0.
Yeah, in the 1.5
patch came out. And Gordo is still not very favorable in this patch. I think mostly because his Grim Reaper does not cover as much screen space. And that was probably one of the biggest reasons why Gordo was such an important character in 1.0.
Yeah. I think I really feel like the Naoto Yumi suits him well, though. It's got a lot of air mobility that he was looking for with just a different set of characters, and I think that's really cool for him. So we're setting up for our next match on stream, Seth LOLOL versus Zombie Moo. Zombie Moo was in my pool. I never got to play him. Sad day in the life. But both of these players, very diverse, a lot of character aggression. Seth LOLOL, I had the pleasure of commentating his Dragon Ball matches at Youmacon in November. He played with a head. He had a cat head the entire time.
That must have been difficult.
Yeah, he went by I can't see.
I saw Zombie Moo in his Dragon Ball pool earlier today. He was doing such a good job, and we see another Yumi Seth, so that's going to be a very aloof team with some very cheeky setups.
Yeah, now Seth has a lot of, Seth is very low health, incredibly high damage, and can use his ball projectiles to just do disgusting setups.
And he can do some really cheeky restands with his, I believe it's 214C. I've seen some really broken stuff on that.
All right, and Seth.
And we see the Seth versus Akatsuki, or not Akatsuki, Akihiko, excuse me.
Yes.
And both Yumi in the back.
Yeah, Yumi's a great anchor, and she complements a lot of teams, which we're already seeing that 3 out of our 4 players have a Yumi anchor.
But Akihiko, he did get a bit of a nerf in the 2.0 patch, but he still does a bunch of damage. Good sway by Seth LOL.
So Akihiko building that win meter so that he can do more damage, and so he's already up to 5.
This should be a dead character.
It absolutely should be. Like I said, Seth has super low health, so he's out of this already.
Seth's low health is
oh, that was so cool!
The clash.
They hit on the exact same frame. That's when it hits
It's in
blue
stereo.
Like that. Oh god, that was gross.
We're going to see some reset back to neutral. Zombie Moo just wants to find their way in. Good overhead by
Great
Seth
overhead.
Ball.
And now
this should be a dead character. Akihiko does big damage.
He does huge damage. Oh, the cross combo.
They might not even need a super.
Nobody's going to get it because he's got that resonant super, so he can guarantee the kill. Her 11-8?
That could have done more. That would have done more.
I don't care. It's 11-8. That's amazing.
Akihiko with that building the win meter with that whirlwind punch. God dang.
So right back into it.
Big roundhouse.
Both of these players are very fast. So I think if they take any time, it's going to throw off their game, so they just want to get right back into it.
I'd like to see Seth do something this game.
Well, Seth did do something. It won. Zombie. Oh, Seth the character. Sorry. There's too many Seths.
I'd like to see Seth not die so quickly.
Agreed.
Seth the character.
Seth the character, not Seth
Good
the player.
pickup. Aerial Rave. Now we see Aerial Rave is such a good tool by Yumi because it locks out the burst.
It does.
And I think that's why we're going to see a lot of Yumi as 2.0 evolves.
Yeah, and you can cancel Aerial Rave into another Aerial Rave, which just extends that time where you can't switch.
Seth Lol
Good
decides to burst out.
Just using a lot of projectiles now to keep Akihiko out, which I think is good. You don't want Akihiko in your face.
Akihiko isn't so good at approaching, but that's why we have Yumi in the back. Yumi's ice projectile assist is so good for backing up a character like Akihiko.
That was a great active switch into Seth, and
looks like that's going to be a dead character. It's going to be close.
It is. Good, that was very close.
Setup. Delayed entry. Trying to mess with Zombie Moo's timing. But this is going to be some fat damage. Or a setup. Good overhead.
I love that ball setup so that Yumi couldn't jump, which is a huge part of her gameplay.
Good cross under. Seth Lol with the awareness. And That might be a dead character with a resonance damage buff, but it is just resonance level 2, so it's a little close.
That was a great overhead to finish that off.
JC is such a good button by Yumi.
It is, and her mix-up is so quick that JC's just fit in really well, and it's a great mix-up tool. Good spacing for that. If you're not blocking low with those 3 icicles, you will get hit.
This is going to be just some true neutral. No assists. Super turbo style.
Yeah, everybody's pretty even.
Good. Just no one wants to let the other in. They're just push blocking each other away.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see maybe a run up and block just to bait out
Bait DP. Anything, bait something.
Bait out the reversal action, because the reversal action is super punishable, and you can get your 5B starters, which is big damage.
Yeah, and both of these players are so good that, you know, one hit is probably going to kill. So
but Seth doesn't have enough meter to actually end it, but this should be dead.
Should be. Finish the combo. Aerial Rave. Doesn't even need it. And we actually, that was our first instance of Rampage time, which we didn't get to see much of. So Rampage time is new with 2.0, and at 80 in-game seconds, your meter will constantly regain.
And as the clock continues to tick down, you gain more and more meter.
Right.
You gain it at a higher rate.
Yeah, so it definitely speeds up the gameplay there, but tag is
This
such a quick game.
This game is fast enough as it is.
Yeah.
I think it's really something to make those 1v1 situations super exciting.
Definitely.
Or
So
more tense.
yeah.
Good
Seth,
round start by Seth Lol.
Yeah, and Seth is up 2-0 with Zombie Moo.
Zombie Moo gets the first big hit, gets some good damage against Seth Lol, Akihiko. Maybe predicting an active switch left-right situation there. And good assist call to pick up the burst.
Very, very good.
Zombie Moo looking very dominant this game.
Oh, that was a really cool ball setup from Zombie Moo.
Block. Who uses the super to reversal through it. James Chen, is that going to kill?
Great question. Yes.
We got the setup afterwards. Zombie Moo looking poised. Big
That
hit.
was a good block, good reject there to get Akihiko out. He was starting to build meter.
I think maybe Seth Lol was baiting out a burst there, just dropping the combo. Pops the resonance.
Okay, cross combo from Zombie Moo. Gets a little bit of damage and then gets a good assist from Yumi.
Fantastic pickup, but I'm not sure if they're going to finish it.
He's regaining a little bit of health as Seth.
Seth Lol just wants out of the corner. Ooh, good instant overhead. Gets the grab. Akihiko, when they're close up, is such a tricky character.
So he's got plenty of meter. Not going to kill.
Was that 8.4 off of a throw?
Yeah, it was. But
That's disgusting.
So Seth LOL takes the character. Good tech.
Seth Lol just not phased by being down one character to 2.
Wow, that was a really good uppercut.
This
So
is going to waste just about maybe all of the time. I think that's a dead character.
Yeah, Zombie
Seth Lol
Moo-
takes it 3-0.
Wow. So Zombie Moo tried to parry, and if he had hit, he would have gotten parried, but Seth waited just long enough so that the parry went away, but Yumi was still in stun. It was perfect timing. Beautiful job. So great
Seth Lol
job by
just
Seth
had
LOL.
the perfect composure to wait for the reversal action. I think maybe Zombie Moo was getting into that panic state. Or kind of, I don't want to say a choke, but when you see your opponent getting the one character comeback, you start to wonder, am I actually going to get reverse comeback on them?
Right.
It just gets into your mind, really messes with your mental state.
It does. That's not the last we're going to see of Zombie Moo. This is the winner side of the bracket, so he is going to drop into losers, where he has a lot of difficult opponents to face. Our losers bracket is full of killers.
This tournament is stacked.
It is. I mean, there is some of our top players are noticeably not here. Base and Shinku are not here. We miss you. But still, this tournament, the players in here are really fantastic, and I'm I really like in 2.0 how many of these well-established players are bringing in new characters, are changing up their teams. LTL was saying, I think yesterday, he actually has 3 different teams.
Wow.
I think they all have Yumi on it, but he's got a lot of teams.
The character diversity has really skyrocketed, I think, in 2.0. We're seeing less Mitsuru, even though you may be a little disappointed.
I know, I'm a Mitsuru player.
Mitsuru's a bit less favored now. I think she still has really good pressure. Her instant overhead is still nuts. As I like to nickname this game, I call it Unreactable 50-50 the game. My personal nickname.
Yeah, so next up on stream, we've got Elion versus Stabs. Now, Elion, he's been in this game forever, and actually...
we got to see Elion just a little while ago on stream, in fact.
Yeah, and Elion just took first in KIT 2 weeks ago. Did a great job there.
Elion's been such a strong player in this game. I've seen him getting top 8 left and right like nobody's business.
So Stabs does a lot of online tournaments. So I think it's cool to have this opportunity for him to play in person, play on LAN, see what he's got going.
It looks like we got the double Izanagi team.
Oh, this is good.
Narukami Adachi versus Protagonist Power, BlazBlue, Ragna, and Jin.
Yeah, so looks like they are going to...
maybe reconnect their controllers.
Yeah, so there's nothing wrong when you're on stream or anything like that in tournament in changing settings to your liking. And you know, some people do change the voices because they have different cues. And if you're used to cues being in English versus Japanese, it's going to throw your game, and you don't want that.
It looks like, I think I saw, at least when Elion was playing, English voices were on. I don't know if it was him that changed it, but even still.
Oh, so Ragna Jin, been in the game since release. Adachi, however, is new with 2.0. And
Adachi is such a good support character, in my opinion. He's got his 236 move is a Zeodyne, just like Narukami's super, but Adachi just has it for free.
Right.
And it covers so much space on screen. It controls it so well. And we
Right.
saw, early on, we saw a lot of Jin. Jin was a very good support character, especially at the beginning of the game, because his 6P, the big ice projectiles, stays out for so long and sets up pressure very well.
Yeah, Jin's assist is really good, and Adachi, actually going back to him, has got some really great setups with his projectile, where he can use that and then call an assist and active switch inside that projectile.
The 214B is very, it has a slow startup and a lot of active frame, so it really supports a very aggressive player like you, Narukami.
Absolutely.
And decides to start Adachi. I'm probably going to see Stabs back off at the beginning.
Yeah, and he does.
Adachi sets up really well for active switch setups. And Stabs uses uses the meter very early on and couldn't push block as Elion's offense just started.
Right, and it seems like Stabs almost panic switched into Narukami.
The Gauntlet Hades by Elion is so hard to block.
It's
so fast.
Right into a super.
Has the extra bar to guarantee the kill.
Yeah. So Elion is already just playing his game, so he's going to be left with Jin on the screen. Oh, but does switch to Ragna. Get that set up.
Because the Jin 6P has so much startup and it lasts for so long, it also has a very easy setup into an active switch, just like Adachi has.
Calls the cross combo, active switches to Ragna immediately.
Full
and that was
super.
such a good counter super.
Good anti-air. Stabs just is not, just can't block this pressure.
Yeah.
Elion's just all over him.
He is. Elion, you know, aggressive player, no stranger to top 8s, is really getting his gameplay going. And this Ragna Jin team is really complementary to his style.
It's doing him wonders, at least right now.
Yeah, and I like the way that he's using Ragna to cover a lot of Jin's assists that are a little bit, and making it harder to see.
We saw the round start 5A by Elion. Ragna's 5A has such a good hitbox. It's almost like a sword on its own.
Okay, so Stab's recovering a little bit from that last round.
Fantastic forward peek by Elion. He may want to switch out characters to gain some of that life soon. But his Ragna on point has just been doing so well on its own.
Okay, cross combo, probably going to active switch to Adachi, which he does. So
that setup was super cheeky.
Yeah, I like that. I like that from Stabs because now he's going to get a little bit more health from that. Good
Fantastic
blocking.
block. The second hit of that 214B is an overhead by Jin.
Really good pickup here from Stabs. Putting the pressure on Ragna. Elion not switching though, he's not feeling it.
I think maybe what Stabs is doing such a good job of creating space between him and Elion.
Ooh,
Panic
DP.
DP.
It was risky, but it worked. DP in return.
I think that might have been an option select to push block or
Yeah.
DP.
I mean, it was in his favor either way.
Carnage
Super,
Scissors
and he's down.
decides to get the extra damage just to tag out his character.
Well, and he had the assist as well, so he got double damage on that.
Oh, I thought he was still hitting the point character.
So he's hitting both. So he killed one and took a bunch of damage off the top.
This is such a quick turn for Elion.
It is. It was really in Stabs' favor until that moment.
Good 4P on the cross combo.
Great air combo from Elion. Jin has a lot of really good air movement, and then Elion's utilizing that right now.
Adachi's not a very good combat character on his own. Stabs is going to be really, really struggling to get in. And Elion takes a 2-0. Stabs had a really good beginning to the game, but once he lost the character, Elion just took it, just took the momentum and ran.
Okay, so back to character select.
I think
just to
Stabs.
take some time.
I think Stabs actually might be changing his character order, but he might. He has the option to switch it in the loading screen.
Right. I don't. I never think there's anything wrong.
Keeps his character order.
Yeah, there's never anything wrong with going back to character select, giving yourself a second.
Just recompose yourself.
Right, it's hard when you're up there on stream. It's bright, it's loud, there's a lot of people in this room.
And you're in top 24 too. I don't know how much experience Stabs has himself on the main stage.
Okay, so nice opener. Forces Elion to crash into Jin.
Good full screen coverage.
Yeah, I like the choice to call a lot more projectiles. Keep Elion out.
Good call from Stabs to get the confirm.
Okay, good crash again. But now Elion's at a meter and Stabs has 2 bars, so let's see what he can do with that. Okay, that was a really nice DP from Adachi.
I'm surprised that Adachi still got hit by the Jin 6P.
I am too, and that caused him to lose the character. Elion's knowledge of what's coming into this game is so good.
Elion's also doing such a good job of using that cross meter just to keep the pressure on. Optimal combos.
Really great. So
Jin doesn't do all that much damage on his own, but he still managed to get 6K off of that combo.
I like calling the cross combo just as a threat in the corner, really testing Stab's ability to block. Switch.
This is going to be some big damage. Gets the bar back. Drops the combo. That could have been a kill.
Could have been, but now he's in this sand situation. Active switches over to Jin, and that's that. Elion
had just such a good awareness of where his assist character was out during the cross combo, and kept tagging Stabs with that 4P when Stabs might have been mainly focused on the point character.
Yeah, and Elion just had a game plan, and he was able to execute. He wasn't thrown off by anything. He knew what he wanted to do. As soon as he got a hit, he knew exactly the set of moves that he wanted to go into. And I have to say, Elion's active switching was some of the best we've seen so far on stream. And he was able to juggle characters with those active switches so easily.
Something that you have to keep in mind when you have cross combo activated. An assist move will come out with each button press unless you hold down the partner button. And then it will activate when you lift the partner button up.
Right. And as we had mentioned earlier, if you do call an assist while you're, call in a super while you're in cross combo, it gives you your resonance super, so it's so much more damage. and can really change the entire pace of the game.
But that's why a lot of players will be looking out for big punishes, especially when you don't have when you don't have your cross combo gauge, like after a burst, or if you use your reversal action and it either whiffs or is blocked, you get a full punish and you're locked out of your burst.
Right.
And that's really when you see a lot of the big damaging combos come out from our players.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and do a couple of ads. So let's throw it over to that.
Shout out to our sponsors. Like the Ready Games, use secret code FROSTY to get some extra content.
And this is Skullgirls, and Skullgirls Mobile is now able to download for free. It's a really fun game if you haven't tried it. I got to play it at Combo Breaker a couple years ago. Had a blast. So go ahead, get it for free.
And New Wave Toys. Head to New Wave Toys to grab a 1-to-6 scale arcade machine. You can have such games like Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo and Champion Edition, and you can get $20 off until January 3rd.
Under Night In-Birth EXE latest Uniclear. So excited this is coming out soon, and it is available to play here on demo at Frosty Faustings. If you get the limited edition for the collector's edition, you get an art book, a soundtrack, which is my favorite thing.
And Acceleration Gaming, use coupon code FROSTY for 10% off at axelmerch.com.
And their sweatshirts, I've seen a couple of them, they're sick.
Oh yeah.
You definitely want to pick one up.
They look super nice. And C2E2 coming up pretty soon, February 28th. You can see some of the people that'll be showing up on screen right now.
Cast of Critical Role, yeah, big comic expo, lots of cosplay. If you're into it, you should definitely head out.
And Chicago Tekken, some of the people partnering here and competing as well, bringing the best of Tekken to Chicagoland. Support the community by buying the merch on Teespring. You can see the link at the bottom of the screen. And follow at Chicago Tekken on Twitter for some updates.
And now we have Arcade Candy Collective at bigcartel.com. They've got some super cute keychains. And again, save 10% with the code FFCandy, which is valid until the 25th. And pick yourself up some sweet merch. We're all about that life.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. I'll catch us in just a hot minute for some more BB Tag Top 24 action.
Don't go away.
Welcome back to Frosty Faustings BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle Top 24. I'm Dostro.
And I'm Jadelyn. You can find me at Jadelyn Gaming on Twitter.
And I'm at Young Dostro. You'll see it right there. Boop. And we've got some more really, really good matches in store for you. We've got some exciting gameplay.
Yeah, really explosive gameplay so far. We've seen a lot of Yumi, which has been really fun. She's one of the new characters of the 2.0 patch, and we are getting set up on stream right now. This is, actually, I don't know who this is. We won't find out real soon. But, oh yay, so...
Experienced fighting game players, they're checking their buttons on the character select
so
screen.
this is Diddley versus Omnix. Omnix we saw right before we went into top 24.
Omnix showing us some fantastic Undernight character gameplay with Linne and Hyde.
Yeah, and he's a Undernight player.
Is he now?
Yes. So, and I believe he plays Linne and Hyde in Eunice currently. But we're going to be seeing Diddley's Ruby Rachel.
Ruby Rachel. Rachel got some a very good buff in the 2.0 patch. Rachel has access to, I believe, 4 stocks of wind now, rather than a continuous wind meter.
And shout out to Diddley's shirt, which I believe is actually
It's
Rachel's
George!
froggy. It's George!
It's George!
Shout out to George!
George is adorable.
Best frog.
Rachel's such an interesting character in this game. She sets up for some really cheeky shenanigans.
Yeah, it's not a character you see terribly often. You do in BBCF, but not in tag, so let's see how this plays out.
Rachel also very frustrating when she sets up those swords. Right there with her, I believe it's 6P.
Right, and those can be set to electrocute.
Right there, Omnix threatening a active switch 50-50. Diddley using good coverage with the cross combo. Very reminiscent of early Gordeau shenanigans. But good 2B on the burst.
Very good 2B.
That's going to be big damage. Rachel has some very solid combos off 2B.
She does.
That was a tech trap? That was a tech trap. That was gross.
And that was crazy because Diddley dropped the combo.
Fantastic.
Super.
Using George for the meaty setup. I think Omnix may be afraid to tech back like last time.
I wonder if some of this is character unfamiliarity too. How often do you play against a Rachel, let alone one that plays well?
Rachel's such a niche character. Rachel has access to fantastic pressure and a near unreactable instant overhead.
That was a nice switch, except it was punished. I lied to you. It was a bad switch. He lost a character
I think
on it.
Diddley was ready for it. Diddley just did a double jump and waited for the burst.
All right, going into bread and butter Hyde combos. Switches back to Linne so that Hyde
Omnix is up against the wall.
He is.
Diddley can just play lame for the rest of the game. But Omnix poking out of the cross combo right there. Diddley just setting up and decides to go in even, using that wind gauge to help maneuver across the screen. And good sword Iris to pick up. Diddley just so dominant this game.
Yeah, she's playing really well and is, you know, as dominating as Omnix was pre-top 24. He looks completely lost right now.
I think it's what you said, the unfamiliarity against Rachel. Rachel can just
Nice
fly
attack.
across the screen and set up so well for your partner character.
That was such a good active switch into the electrocution into Ruby.
The sword Iris, Diddley already had the plant set up and called the sword Iris and switched into an easy cross-up.
So,
I'm curious how Omnix is going to adapt to this Rachel.
By going to character select, apparently. So let's see what Omnix chooses to do. Again, if you're
Omnix just in the tank right now.
yeah, if you are new to fighting games, or if you're just unfamiliar with how this works in general, if you win, you are not allowed to switch characters. So you can see Diddley already locked into her team. So Omnix taking a break. He's really thinking about what he's going to bring.
I think maybe he took a second to think of his game plan as well. That's personally, I like to take a moment between each round, even if I've won, to think what went right, what went wrong, and what can I do to adapt. And I'm curious to see what Omnix has in store.
Yeah, so good side break. Let's see what he's got.
Diddley with the jump-in pressure, but Omnix just poking out.
Yeah, that was a good blow against Ruby, and Ruby's 2A is really fast too, so it was a really nice.
Linne's 2A is fast as well. It's not a character we see as often, but definitely not a character to sleep on.
Definitely not. She's got some really cool things. She can roll. She can tech roll. That's
Linne's
cool.
got that big 5B, and her jump Kuga is still really good in this game too. That's the air fireball. We saw some cute shenanigans before top 24 by Omnix.
So Omnix is throwing out high speed, just throwing it out. Good 2B there.
That was a fantastic adaptation by Omnix against the instant overhead from Diddley.
Good. Oh, gets hit. Right
Maybe
on
Omnix
5A.
trying to poke out again. Ruby, one of the characters that has some relatively good stagger strings with her 5A and 2A, but Diddley just decides to keep pressing the button.
Yep.
Gets a pickup and solid damage.
Yeah, that's your bread and butter Ruby combo now with the Gun Blast reset and doing really well.
That 5P by Rachel just does so well to set up pressure on Wake Up.
I was really surprised that super whiffed. I thought he got it.
Maybe just some weird combo juggle, I believe. But
Yeah.
Omnix just completely lost against Diddley.
Yeah, this Diddley's Rachel is really cool.
And Diddley showing us that you cannot burst against her.
No, you really can't because her burst punishes are extremely dangerous.
Diddley just kind of waiting out that resonance by going full screen.
DP.
I think maybe Diddley was trying to go for a push block, but realized they didn't have meter.
Calls in the cross combo.
Fantastic 4P by Diddley. This should be a game.
Yep, and it is. So Diddley
Omnix
goes
is
up
so
2-0.
lost.
Yeah, I feel like he doesn't know what to do against this Rachel Ruby. I mean, I feel like when Diddley is playing Ruby, he's gets something, but Rachel?
Rachel is such a good character in this patch. She just flies across the screen. You see this kind of gameplay in BlazBlue normal, but even in cross tag with that buff with her 4 wind gauge activations, she's just so much better.
So again, Omnix, you can see he's really thinking about this. This is a tough match for him.
And we saw Omnix taking a moment before hitting rematch. And I think Omnix might do better if he can threaten the space behind him. Maybe calling 4Ps better.
Yeah, he's
Hyde and
Linne's
Linne's 4P aren't super great, but I think they would do such a good job for him. With 2 characters, this is going to be a big combo for Omnix.
Good, happy birthday. One does drop out, but he picks Ruby up again with the hide switch.
The combo drops.
What a recovery from Diddley with that Ruby.
Diddley gets to just reset and set up neutral with Rachel.
Cross combo, probably going to active switch. Yep, into
Classic
the Rachel.
Ruby active switch with her 2-3-6B, setting up the double gunshot.
And now just threatening
Is that a
Linne.
cross-up?
I am not sure.
That was ridiculous.
It really
I had
was.
no idea what side to block that.
We all got hit.
This is the Kuga shenanigans that Omnix showed us before top 24. And it looks like Omnix is starting to get his bearings.
Yeah, it definitely looks like that. So,
It's fantastic
wow.
punish, but doesn't pick up on it.
No, I mean, again, Diddley is recovering so well from every hit.
I think Omnix is doing a better job this game threatening space against Diddley.
Which is exactly what you said he needed to do right before this match.
Should be some solid damage.
Good tech.
Good awareness by Diddley to tech the throw.
Yeah, but I like Omnix's choice to use 2B instead of DP so he didn't get punished there with Hyde.
Good block. Or
Oh,
not.
nice DP.
DP is fully invulnerable on startup, as well as supers. But since Diddley supered before the reversal, Diddley got a full,
God.
got hit.
Gun Blast, happy birthday. That was crazy damage.
That cross-up was absolutely ridiculous. Ruby is so good at setting those up.
Diddley's gameplay is really impressing me right now.
But Ruby is 1 hit away from getting killed.
She's got these Gun Blast resets, though.
What's the setup? Decides to just set up Rachel pressure. With the right combo, this should be dead.
Let's see. She's got enough meter.
Commentator's curse. No one is safe.
Oh, what have we done?
This is a dead character. Super.
Super, yeah, dead for sure.
I would have liked to see super early because when you use super in resonance, it pauses your
What
timer.
a punish! Is Diddley gonna lose Ruby here?
Same
Not
combo.
even no way, go! That was crazy.
Omnix completely recovering from just being down and losing his character first.
Yeah. All right, think about it, my dude, because that worked.
Even Omnix taking a moment. I think Diddley hit rematch first. Omnix taking a moment just to fully recompose.
I mean,
my heart would be beating so fast if I were him.
My heart is beating fast and I'm not him. That was crazy.
That was
such great mental awareness to get through that match.
And Hyde's buttons are so good too. Hyde's buttons, such a good character to be left with, even as without an assist. Hyde and Linne both even.
All right, so getting into this match, we're now 2-1 Diddley.
Omnix showing us that he is no one to sleep on.
Definitely not, and his recovery, I mean, I don't know, it looks like he could do a reverse sweep here. That would be really sick. And starting off fantastically with this really good Linne combo. 5.4 is good for Linne.
Hyde's 5P is such a good pressure assist. And Diddley just forced to block now. And Omnix is such a big change of pace.
Yeah, I feel like if he's the aggressor, he really gets things going well.
That cross-up was dirty.
I like it.
And a lot of unrecoverable health. And decides to spend the extra 2 bars for the 2K.
I would, because
good air-to-air. Omnix takes the first character.
He was so confident in that.
This is such a reversal from the first 2 games.
I feel like Omnix might be getting inside Diddley's head.
And this is a character that Omnix has probably had so much experience playing against.
Right. DP, I mean, does create the space, but a nice push block into Hyde.
This is going to be some solid damage.
He doesn't have any meter to super yet.
Omnix has an assist.
Good text.
Threatening space with the cross combo.
Active switches to Hyde. Good low. He's going to kill. He's got that. That was great. Uses the EX to ensure that he had the damage to do it.
And that was less than a minute, too.
Yeah, this is completely... Oh, now Diddley goes to character select.
Omnix decided to go to character select as well.
All right, so as I said earlier, Omnix does have to stick with his team because he was the winner. But
Omnix
now
still
Diddley
gets to use the time as well. Diddley has her head in her hands.
I mean, from all intents and purposes, it looked like Diddley had won the match, and now all of a sudden it's 2-2. You've got to think. Mika?
Mika's a great character. I've seen so much from the players all over. But locked in Ruby, maybe.
Diddley is really thinking about this. I don't think she wants to go out here. So she does choose to go with Rachel.
This is still winners, so if Diddley goes down to losers, if either of them go down to losers, it'll be such a hard track just to get into finals.
Yeah, losers is
you have to fight just about twice as many matches.
You do. You have to play a lot more matches. Winner's side, you just get to sit, chill in your top 8
And there's so many killers too.
Yeah, that losers bracket is nothing to sneeze at. If you get a chance, go check it out on Smash.gg. It is being actively updated, and you can check out the bracket yourself.
But let's see how Diddley is going to recover from this one.
So Omnix, again, really starting with a lot of aggression, which worked well for him, and Ruby is at less than half in under 5 seconds.
Good grab. He's scouting the burst. Decides to get the super early on just for the guaranteed damage.
Good cross combos. Trying to prevent Rachel from
gets both characters, but that wasn't...
Oh my gosh, he took out Ruby. That was so fast. Okay, good DP.
Omnix wasn't super confident in the combo, but still takes Ruby out. And has got so much pressure going on. And Diddley is left on Resonance level 1.
I mean, with Resonance level 1, there's so little that you can do. It's going to run out quickly. He doesn't have that much damage increase.
And you don't have access to as much meter.
Right.
And Rachel's combos are so long.
Indeed they are, as we are seeing here.
Diddley gets the instant overhead pickup, but Omnix blocks the second one.
All right. So Resonance is over, so Diddley has got to work with the health that he has.
Good pickup. This is going to be some bad damage. Drops it. Sandwich.
Great pickup.
I don't want to say it. This is it.
Yeah.
Omnix with the reverse 3-0.
That was such a recovery from Omnix. That was incredible gameplay.
I think there was a huge turning point in that third game where Omnix had the hide comeback, and Diddley just lost her composure.
She did.
And those last 2 games were all Omnix.
They were, and I feel like Diddley, if she couldn't get her gameplay going, if she couldn't get her aggression, if she couldn't get her Rachel setups, then she didn't know how to proceed. And Omnix, I feel like, really figured that out. And as long as he was on his aggression, Diddley was a little bit lost. So we are now going to go to the loser side of the bracket, and we are going to see Stabs versus Days. So we saw Stabs a little bit earlier, who went down 3-0 to Elion.
Stabs was beginning to find their footing against Elion, but Elion just Elion's offense was just too much.
It was clean. It was a clean offense.
Super clean.
So be interested to see what kind of adjustments that Stabs makes.
And we have yet to see Days. Days might have been one of the players that made it into top 24 from losers.
Yeah, Days did. He was, but he's no one to sneeze at. He's 13th at Arc Revo. He was 9th at CEO Taku, so he definitely knows what's going on in this game. This is, I think it's going to be an explosive match, though. I'm looking forward to seeing what they both choose to play as their characters.
This game is, in my opinion, wide open as far as character select. I want to see some really fringe character specialists. I think they'll go a long way, especially in a game like this, with so many characters.
Definitely.
And this game is super creative, too, especially with cross-combo.
Yeah, and it rewards creativity. The whole game is designed to reward that kind of play.
We saw a lot of Ruby Gordo at the very beginning of this game.
I was one of them.
But
I'm sorry.
The thing about Ruby Gordo is they were just the characters that had the tools to do it that were easiest to see. Ruby set up Sandwich is really easy, and Gordo's Grim Reaper was such a good assist. But now we're seeing so many more characters, and we see Stabs with the double Izanagi, Narukami, and Toru Adachi.
Which was who was playing earlier.
We see Days hovering over Carmine.
Carmine Yang.
Carmine Yang.
Oh,
Yang
I like this.
Carmine and Yang, both characters that absolutely spit damage.
They do,
But
and I like the way they complement each other.
The problem with Carmine is that a lot of his specials and his 5B use up his health.
Right.
That was his character trait in Under Night. But he can easily do over 7,000, over 8,000 on his own. You just sacrifice, the health you use is recoverable health. So managing that as a Carmine player, Days will have to be very aware of it. But Stabs get the first hit with the Narukami 5P.
Forces that burst from Days.
And as you said earlier, the Adachi 236B covering the screen so well, and Stabs got to run in for the air unblockable with the reversal action.
Yeah, so I feel like Days is...
This might be a dead character.
Days is confused because
we didn't even get to hear Yang's theme song.
Nobody said. Okay, so now we get to see some Carmine gameplay. I like the setup after the super. Good air combo, but nice block coming up for his Stabs.
Stabs can just play it lame, full screen, but decides to threaten the space anyway. EX pinwheel to make a safe resonance.
I'm not really sure what Stabs is trying to go with there, but he's getting punished for it and is going to lose this character.
I believe he was calling the Adachi, I believe it's 4P where he calls Izanagi from the sky.
Gotcha, okay.
But Stabs comes in, and Days is looking on, he has so much red health. This might be a dead character.
Might be
Stabs
a dead
takes
team.
it.
It's an entirely dead team, goodness.
I like to see what Stabs has working for him. We didn't get to see much from him in his previous match.
Right, and his winner's match was a little bit different than what we're seeing now, and Days is deciding to switch.
9 is such a tricky character. Her dash goes through opponents.
9 Seth?
This character
This is exciting.
This character is going to explode, but it has huge damage and huge setup potential. Both characters with on the lower end of health in the cast.
Seth is the lowest health character in the game, right?
I believe all
Close.
characters have a minimum. I think they upped it to 16K or
14.
Or-
It's 14, I believe. And I think a couple have 12. But I'll have to double check that later. I will double check and get back to you.
both characters that are going to hurt.
Okay, so Stab's now on the back foot after that beautiful opener happy birthday from Days.
The 236C by 9 is an overhead, I believe, but also tracks. So it's such a good neutral tool. It can just catch you off guard from anywhere on screen. And Days just chilling.
Yeah, he's in a great position right now. I mean, taking a little bit of damage from Adachi now. Which,
Days has no reason to be aggressive, but we have good block on the
blocking.
overhead. That's punishable, and Stabs loses his first character.
all right, so this is a very different game than the first one, and I feel like this team for Days is working very well.
Double cross-up shenanigans. That was so cheeky by
and
Days.
I love that Days is not letting Stabs regain any of that health until right then, commentator's curse.
Reversal super. That's a dead character.
Wow.
That game was so fast.
And it was so different.
That game was 42 seconds long.
Brilliant. I love it.
9 and Seth, both characters that spit damage, and their setups are so good.
And they just, God, if they touch you, you're dead.
Not
Which
on-
is what we saw.
Not only are they both good point characters, I personally believe 9 to be a fantastic support character.
Oh, 9's assists are great.
Her 5P is so good.
So good grab, and now he's getting an excellent setup.
Good punish on the burst. The Days just in the right spot at the right time. Easy punish. Gets the setup with a grab. This is going to be big damage and a nice setup too. With that was, get out of my head, Charles. The super to counter Stabs' reversal action. Good block by Stabs on the cross-up. And Days just doing such a good job managing both characters on screen during cross combo. It was almost like Days was using both characters as they were their own.
So Adachi, when he calls that DP, if any point you hit him during that walk animation, the DP will go off, which is what happened for the damage there.
It's after he walks forward for at least a second. He still has a hitbox, but it can be blocked and easily punished.
Right. I think Days just got a little bit antsy there.
That was a fantastic dash through by Days with 9's air dash, but good block by Stabs and resets to neutral.
Nice overhead, doesn't get anything off of it though.
Seth just such a tricky character.
He's got a lot of movement. Really good.
Moving through characters like nobody's business. And it looks like Stabs is completely lost now. The first game was very confident by Stabs, but now Days with this character switch has been all over him.
Right, and so just because now I know, all the 14,000 health characters, you were right, they went up to 16,000. If they were at 16K, they went to 17. But no adjustment was made to the 18K and 20K characters.
This game was fast enough as it is. We needed the extra help.
Yeah, it actually, when this came out, it threw me a little bit because I was used to certain characters dying in a certain time, and it just, you had to change your combos for it. All right, so...
Good movement by Stabs, avoiding the EX Fire Fist.
I feel like this character switch for Days has worked out really well for him.
That was a Guilty Gear backdash if I ever saw one. But 9's back dashes are so good, and they have so much invulnerability on them. And you have so much mobility as well. Good awareness by Stabs, hitting out the assist, and then going to hit 9 out of the air as well.
Yeah, DP to get Stabs off of his case and starting to lay down a little bit of damage.
Stab's doing a good job managing his characters as well. And pokes out of 9. 9 called the block on him.
Good blocking from Days there.
We're just seeing true neutral.
Oh, great
Just
DP.
Send a message. Good coverage, but Daze pokes out and kills Narukami.
All right, so Stabs chooses to use the resonance now, even though he's close to full health.
It might not seem like it, but this is such a close game. It's one hit to kill 9 and almost one hit to kill Seth.
And Stabs is sitting on a lot of health.
That was a fantastic active switch setup. Dashing through, and I believe Daze used the 236C that hits both characters.
Oh my god, that was crazy cool. I really like the way that he used that super there.
Good cross slash. Now, in a similar vein, Daze is going to have to be careful what he does full screen because Adachi has a full screen super.
Seth with an incredible setup there, doing tons of damage. Oh, and the overhead during that walk animation. That was gross.
Does that, because it hits on the other side, does that not trigger the reversal?
I guess not. That was gross.
That was absolutely disgusting.
So, in what looked like was going to be a sweep for Stabs, it was 3-1.
Stabs' first game was super dominant, but once we saw that character switch by Daze, it was a completely different story.
Look at them. Yay! Look at all those heads.
I can't quite tell what that is in the middle. Is that like Buff George or something?
It might be Buff George. Fit FGC for life.
I love it. Get those gains.
I love the Aurier.
Tager.
This is
I'd like to
great.
see some Tager in some games soon. Maybe not. Tager. We don't see him.
Tager walled
we
as
don't
often.
see him so much. Tager normally only shows up partnered with his big buddy Waldstein.
Right, and actually,
as we've seen Koji Kong play to a lot of success.
Is also not here, so we don't see a lot of that.
Koji Kong top 8 at Arc Revo. I believe he got maybe 5th, 4th, or 3rd. I'm not quite sure.
All right, so our next match is going to be Zombie Moo versus Kuroko. So Zombie Moo we've seen lost against Seth, even though Zombie Moo was playing a Seth.
It was Yumi and I'm forgetting the other character. Yumi.
That's a good question. I should have written that in.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. No worries. But so Zombie Moo, Kuroko I mentioned earlier was 4th at CE Otaku, 17th at EVO. No stranger to the main stage.
A lot of killers here.
So it'll be interesting to see what Zombie Moo can bring against that, especially, I mean, once you've had a loss that's really as devastating, crushing as it was against Seth LOLOL. You know, he's had a little time to think, and now he can, you know, hopefully bring some changes into his gameplay, breathe some new life into it. Reset victory count, desync your controllers, and set your buttons.
Ooh. Doing the Lord's work. Doing a mitzvah. We don't want anyone interrupting our lovely match.
Yeah, and I really actually like in this game how you can set your buttons in the character select screen, because it just gives you a chance to, you know, take a second, know that everything's correct.
These are experienced fighting game players.
Okay, so Zombie Moo going with his Yumi Seth.
Yumi Seth. And
Kuroko
we have yet
goes.
to see Kuroko. 9, as we saw, such a good character. 9 dummy damage and fantastic support.
And 9 Oreo. So I know that Kuroko's been playing 9 for a very long time, like since, at least since 1.5, if not earlier. Has switched out the other character quite a bit, but has been known to play Aurier with her, which is what he's going to decide to do.
Aurier, such a good character as well. Aurier has a fantastic range with her rapier. And 9 also, deceptively, has a lot of range with her elemental attacks. Her 5B goes so far, and her specials as well.
Right.
And we're probably going to see some pretty solid defensive play by Zombie Moo, because Yumi and Seth have very good setup projectiles that can assist characters going in. Let's see what's going to happen in the round start gambit.
Okay.
Back off. Ooh, Kuroko going in. Maybe Zombie Moo may be expecting a cross up, and and getting hit, but bursts immediately, finds a safe space to burst because we already saw an assist popping out. But fantastic block by ZombiMu on the 5C.
So Kuroko just setting up a lot of pressure with his team and has been getting a lot out of this Aurier assist, just like that right there.
ZombiMu also doing such a good job watching that elemental meter and using his specials accordingly. Ooh, good instant overhead. Blocks the cross burst.
Okay, burst to try and create space from ZombiMu, but Kuroko is just doing a great job running his game.
Kuroko's just all over him, but stops the combo, and ZombiMu comes back in.
Oh, does a ton of damage to 9.
This is almost a dead character.
Yeah, good cross to save the clash to save the
Fantastic
character.
awareness by ZombiMu, baiting the cross burst right there.
Oh, it was a good grab, but he couldn't quite follow up on it. He was a little too far away.
That's so cheeky. I always forget if that's an overhead or a low. I believe it's a low.
So Kuroko made the smart choice to put 9 in the background briefly. Never mind, I'm gonna change that sentence.
5C, that's a dead character. You don't even have to time it. But gets the excellent. Could have used the meter just to send the message.
Yeah, I was going to say that Kuroko was doing a great job managing the health of 9 by switching her into the back, but then he was so confident in that setup that he put 9 back in and won the round off of it.
9 is such an evasive character that it's... If a player as good as Kuroko probably has no issues with avoiding attacks and choosing the spots to go in and create those cross-up situations.
Right.
Similar to the opening, but this time switch. Kuroko uses a safe switch because ZombiMu already had his assist on screen.
All right.
Kuroko may be expecting a cheeky sandwich 50-50.
So Aurier's caught in the corner here, but manages to avoid the ball, goes into the grab, and does manage to pick up the combo this time. Great. Good air combo. Well,
good setup.
With an assist.
Aurier has such long range that back tech or forward tech are pretty easy to cover with her 5A. Fantastic bait. This is going to be big damage.
Yeah.
Kuroko has 2 bars. Maybe they won't choose to use them.
Yeah, I like that ZombiMu thought that he could get both characters, but only got the assist, and Aurier was able to do
fantastic push block by Kuroko. Is that a dead? That's game.
It's not.
It's not?
Oh my gosh.
That's so close.
That's the health increase.
James Chen, where are you?
Probably commentating something else. But the spirit of James Chen lives on in this game.
Fantastic grab. This should be a dead character. You can super.
But look at what you have to deal with. A 4-bar Resonance 9? That's crazy.
Resonance level 4 nonetheless.
Right.
Good decision to super by ZombiMu using those last 2 seconds of Resonance. But Kuroko's probably going to go into Resonance pretty soon. Gets hit.
Is he going to get the chance? I would.
One more hit should be dead.
Oh my goodness.
Big mix up. Stop doing this to me. Good anti-air. Pickup, super.
What a pickup, and the Resonance cancel supers, and that's gonna kill. Wow, what an incredible game. That felt like it was way longer than it actually was.
That was back and forth. That was just over a minute, 62 seconds.
Woo,
My heart
boy.
is beating so fast.
That was crazy.
My heart is beating.
ZombiMu is not having the best top 24 right now, so this is loser's bracket. If he loses this, he does go out here. But Kuroko's 9 Aurier is nothing to mess with.
9 is, as we saw earlier in the previous match and this match as well, 9's such an explosive character as well.
So starts the round off with a happy birthday, but 9 dropped out of it and is now regaining health in the background.
That was, in my opinion, a curious assist call by ZombiMu because Kuroko just got to burst out for free.
Right.
But here we see ZombiMu taking the lead in this match, this game.
Yeah.
Good burst by Kuroko with the even 10K.
We have seen this before, and Kuroko really seems to be able to recover well from any kind of damage that he's taking from ZombiMu's team.
Good.
Okay, calls in the cross combo.
Uses the super right away to guarantee that you get the damage. Ooh, that was a tricky setup.
If I had to guess, Zamimu's going to try to act a switch so that he won't lose his Yumi, and he does.
Super. This should be a dead character with the DHC.
Unless he chooses... I respect that. He chose not to call the Yumi because there's a strong likelihood of her getting killed.
Good pressure by Kuroko, but Zamimu just blocking easily. Easy super. Doesn't need it. Goes for the aerial raid.
All right, so Kuroko down to 9, but does have resistance level 4 again.
Zamimu showing us that he is not just a punching bag.
No, he is not out of this by any stretch.
DHC should take this. Whirlwind.
All right, so we got the board for him.
Zamimu takes his first match, his first game on stream in top 24.
Shoot. I mean, you never want to go out 0-2. I mean, even though, you know, you won your pool, you got all the way this far, but you don't want to ever go. It feels bad, man. So good for Zamimu. Keep your head on straight. Keep playing your game.
Nonetheless, Zamimu has had a fantastic showing, even making it to top 24.
Yeah, this I think we had around 160 people in pools. That's
a lot of players.
That's a lot of BB tag.
For cross tag, that's a lot of players. Ooh, fantastic setup by Zamimu. Goes for a grab for the extra damage, but misses the combo. Ooh, the 2B counters the burst.
Grab into this combo, calls the assist to extend.
Small drop.
Recovering well though.
Maintains pressure. Good grab, a little bit of a scramble, capitalizing it by doing something that's maybe on in the back of their mind and killing Zamimu's Seth.
Yeah, I like the decision to use all of the meter there just to guarantee that Seth wasn't going to be an issue.
Kuroko gets a grab and gets some solid damage and a setup. Unblockable.
Oh my goodness. And just wasting all of Zamimu's resonance. It's like it doesn't even matter.
Unblockable again.
And that was a super fast game 4. Unbelievably fast.
We see Kuroko with the Aurier cutout. Good stuff from Kuroko.
Definitely, and he's going to keep going on in loser's bracket.
Definitely. I'm excited to see more of him.
So next up on stream, we're going to have GC Yoshi versus Element. So Element was
to see the tank.
So GC Yoshi, if you don't know, has been playing Blitz Tank, and
Blitz
that's
Tank
really exciting.
Blitz Tank is so precious. Blitz Tank is adorable.
And is also a literal tank.
Blitz Tank is a big boy. I love it so much. And when GC Yoshi won, the crowd, myself included, was popping off.
Yeah, and I would expect that again because, I mean, honestly, who plays the tank?
Blitz Tank is a good character. Blitz Tank does a lot of damage and is such a good zoner. His only downfall is he's a big character.
He's a huge character. He's gigantic.
He's a big character. He doesn't have very good anti-air options as well. His reversal is a counter, so that's not a good anti-air. And his 2B does not have a very good hitbox.
Right, so we saw Element in our very first match of top 24. He was playing versus LTL. LTL took that 3-0. So happy to have him back here in the loser's bracket facing GC Yoshi. So let's see what they both decide to go with. They go with changing their buttons. That is a fantastic idea.
They've played this game before. I know GC Yoshi was playing Yosuke Blitz Tank.
Right.
So an especially lame team, but we don't care because it has Blitz Tank on it. And Element going with his Hakume Jubei, as we saw earlier.
He's doing it!
Element was starting to get his footing as towards the end of his set against LTL.
Right.
But unfortunately fell to loser's bracket.
Yeah, but this was the Hakumen Jubei team was really strong for him. It did well. Even against a player like LTL, there was a lot of strength there.
I love this color on Blitz Tank.
Yeah, I think right now GC Yoshi is winning the color game.
Yo, it's like the Vaporwave Tiger Stripes.
So Yosuke is an incredibly mobile character and gets a lot of his pressure going on from the air.
And I'm curious to see how Element's going to be able to deal with this, because a lot of what GC Yoshi is going to do is just jump and flip around and stay out of range.
Right, while calling those devastating blitz tank
Full
assists.
punish. This is going to be big damage. I'd love to see some bad damage. Yosuke, with his optimal stuff, decides not to call blitz tank to extend, probably reserving it for assist calls or a cross burst if he wants.
Right. Switch into Hakumen for Element.
Good block by Element. GC Yoshi may be a little too antsy on that burst. And this is 14K if he wants it.
But a solid 12K with an excellent follow-up. Okay, crash to save the character.
Would have been a fatal if this were Persona 4 Arena. But catches Element, which I believe that's a 5C. Cross up. Yosuke is such a tricky character.
What a great assist call from Yoshi too. Oh my god.
GC Yoshi getting a bit antsy. Mistimes his counter, but armors through.
That was.
But Element still takes it, because the Jubei assist going through the armor.
So even though, I mean, we say, yay, you know, it's blitz tank and this is super cool. You know, Jubei and Hakumen are not characters we see often either.
We do not. Hakumen a bit unorthodox, because he can cancel his special moves into other specials for the cost of 1 bar. Very similar to his trait in BlazBlue.
Right. So starting very similarly, Yosuke taking over the airspace, which is what he wants to do.
One thing that I saw in GC Yoshi's gameplay previously, he doesn't call cross combos. He uses his meter for bursts and assist pickups.
Interesting.
But Elements, as we saw in his previous set and as we saw earlier in this game, he uses cross combo to threaten space and even deal extra damage. GC Yoshi was controlling the space in the air very well. Good challenge by GC Yoshi getting the trade.
And so far, this has been a really big back and forth between both players.
Element using the cross combo to get that extra damage on the Resonance Super.
And the crowd is losing their minds with that blitz tank super.
I think this is a good matchup for blitz tank, because I find that Hakumen does not have very good, easy time getting in. And blitz tank, very good zoner. But Element is just all over him right now.
I know. The image of Hakumen throwing a tank is probably one of my favorite things that has happened.
Just throwing blitz tank always looks silly.
I love that GC Yoshi was wasting that resonance meter by just jumping in the corner.
I think
he knows if he wastes it, he's probably got the round.
I honestly think GC Yoshi would do this even if he wasn't in resonance, as you see right now. He just dropped the combo intentionally and ran to the other side of the stage.
Yeah, GC Yoshi very early on in this game was very well known for running out the clock. And super whiffs. Hakumen lives.
But Element needs to play super careful right now. He's on the magic pixel.
Well, it's gone now. Oh my goodness. So
GC Yoshi taking it, being a tricky boy with Yosuke Hanamura.
So we're 1-1. I feel like GC Yoshi adjusted his gameplay a little bit. You know, was a bit more aggressive, went for the overheads a lot more with Yosuke.
And the cross-ups as well.
Yeah, and those cross-ups. So let's see what adjustments Element can make now.
I think maybe as well, this is a very frustrating team. I think Element was getting frustrated to play against Yosuke.
Right.
Blitz Tank and Yosuke, both very frustrating characters to play against, but fantastic counter against Element, but Element bursts out.
Okay. So good counter from GC Yoshi there.
Even though Blitz Tank does not have the fastest buttons, still has armor, and he pokes out of Element's pressure.
All right.
Drops the combo. Ooh.
Nothing.
Interesting exchange.
So Element throwing a lot of the same buttons out there on Hakumen. What does he do? You think he's trying to go for a specific setup?
I think he's just going for the flip or 5B. But there have been a lot of... Well, that's new in 2.0. Hakumen got an air super. This is looking pretty strong for Element right now.
It is, but let's see what GC Yoshi can do with just Yosuke here. He's choosing to save his resonance, but it's only level 2.
GC Yoshi on probably 2/3 health. Lost a little bit off of getting his Persona hits.
That was so tense.
Good pickup by Element.
Very good pickup. Great Jubei combo.
Runs across the stage to get the cross combo set up.
I like that GC Yoshi decided to resonance there, though.
GC Yoshi just did not want to handle with the mix-up.
No. And why would he? If you don't have the choice, why would you do that?
Good reversal by Element. Tornado, this is going to be big damage, but not going to kill.
No. Jubei still lives.
Good 5.
Wow.
Good
That was
JC by Element. Takes it with the assist pickup.
So Element did make adjustments. And we are now 2-1 Element. So if he takes this game, GC Yoshi is out of the bracket.
I think this is going to be a very back and forth set. I think they're both very good at adapting. Element was a little bit more patient dealing with Yosuke in the previous game. And I'm curious if GC Yoshi will change his game by being a little bit more aggressive.
Right.
Element trying to go from the air-to-air, but GC Yoshi flips to the other side.
Yosuke is so good at air-to-airs.
Yosuke's JA is so good.
Okay, and catches
Bad
Jubei.
burst by Element.
Very punished.
GC Yoshi picks it up. Are we going to see? Nope, just goes for the setup.
Okay. Burst to go ahead and save Jubei and regain some health.
That was a great read by Element. I believe it would have hit GC Yoshi regardless, but it still called out the burst.
Okay.
This is a dead character, Yosuke. But Blitztank is nothing to sleep on as a last character. He does so much damage.
And the crowd is
this
getting
a dead
so
character?
hyped. It is.
Blitztank is just so great to watch. He's so precious. He's so adorable.
I'm so happy that we get to see this match because this is really cool. Oh my god, did it work?
Bad damage. That's a full screen unblockable if you're on the ground.
Oh my
Element
god.
needs to be careful of being on the in the air or on the ground.
Yeah, but I don't think GC Yoshi should drop his awareness just yet.
This is big damage, but Blitztank has a lot of health.
He does, and both characters are
Ooh,
now
fantastic reversal.
That
Gets
was
the pickup,
great.
and GC Yoshi takes it with Blitztank.
The
and
crowd
we can
is
hear the crowd in the
absolutely
background.
losing it.
And who wouldn't? Blitztank is so much fun to watch. I'm
Shout
so
out to
excited
the Blitztank Stan account.
I'm so excited to watch Blitztank.
Okay. So just taking a break. Thinking about it, it's 2-2. Yeah, no character switch. Not surprised.
Just
feel like-
staying,
Yeah,
taking the time to recompose yourself. Because that was a close game.
Yes, must die! I'm so happy.
This is a close set.
I'm so glad that somebody picked Must Die on stream because that is, out of all the pieces in this game, that's my favorite. It's so good. All right, 2-2.
I feel like GC Yoshi might switch it up yet again and play a little bit more lane this game, just to change his style.
Changes the pace of what Element's used to dealing with.
It's a happy mix of jumping in and jumping out from GC Yoshi. And his pressure is just very good. Baits the burst, but calls his 2B at a very unfortunate time. Jubei's burst angle comes in weird and crosses up.
All right.
Uses the extra bar for the damage.
Yeah,
a bit of it
assault.
recoverable as well.
Yeah, that extra assault was added with the 2.0 patch, and if you have 1 bar of meter, you're able to call that extra assault, which will do 6.6 or 6,500 damage. There we go. Woo.
You just hit 5C. You hit C again just to add that extra meter. But GC Yoshi's all over Element right now. Element has this should be a dead character. Just easy super.
And if he can't close it out, he's got 2 more bars to work with. Yep, and he's going
Jubei
to
doesn't
use
have
it.
a lot of health on his own. Blitz Tank with the Proton Cannon. And Hakumain on Element's side, not so much health either. Element may be very frustrated after that comeback.
I think so.
And Yosuke and Blitz Tank, both very frustrating characters.
They are. And I feel like GC Yoshi, because he's not unfamiliar to the big stage, is doing a great job with adjustments, and he takes it.
He takes it. The crowd doesn't
Oh.
pop off because Blitz Tank wasn't on screen.
Yeah, well, you can see Element was really upset about that. He's disappointed.
Element has been relegated to the spectators bracket.
All right, so GC Yoshi takes that. It was such a close set of matches, though.
Such a close set of matches. Up next, we're going to have Diddley versus Scott Vermillion.
So,
we saw Diddley lose her last match. Very close.
It was.
With the reverse sweep.
Yeah, Scott Vermillion was in my bracket, actually, and was playing Weiss. It was really cool. I hope that he continues to do that.
Scott Vermillion's Weiss is so sick. Weiss is also such a cool character. Her glyph setups are so interesting.
They are.
And
yeah.
they're so cheeky.
Scott Vermillion wearing a shirt with his name on it, so you don't forget who he is. And I like, we didn't mention this earlier, that Diddley plays on a hitbox. Gets a little bit different
A mix
movement
box,
there.
actually.
Oh, it's a mix box. Oh, it is.
When it has the keyboard arrow keys, that's a mix box. Thank you for zooming in on it, production.
You guys are. Thank you so much to Low Kick, the production and crew here on this stream. You guys are absolutely fantastic. And if you're watching, please like and subscribe. Anything to help out the stream.
Follow at Low Kick eSports on Twitter.
It will keep bringing you the quality content that you are seeing right here. So thank you guys. We appreciate you.
And now we're going to see our last match of the block.
Yes.
Some solid Ruby music.
So we have Ruby Rachel versus
Now, one thing to know about Weiss as a character, her 5A is a fantastic poke and a surprisingly good anti-air.
Okay.
Good block on the overhead,
Oh,
but this is going to be a
lift.
big punish from Diddley and potentially a dead character because decides to go for the setup. Diddley has been on point with these tag burst baits and the George setups. Goes for one again. This should be maybe easily avoided if Scott Vermillion decided to tech forward.
Okay, so far, Diddley is in major control of this game.
And that was such a sick bait by Diddley. Diddley is just in the mind of everyone.
Wow, and that was it. Diddley, that was incredible gameplay.
A 45-second game. Diddley is showing us that she works with the momentum so well.
She does, and that's what we saw from her first match too against Omnix, because that was our first 2-3 on stream.
Diddley is showing us she has a library card because she has the reads. Good pickup by Scott Vermillion.
Okay, so
Diddley had the early cross burst or cross combo, so she's still recovering her cross gauge, but faster than you would off of a burst.
All right, so Scott Vermillion definitely getting a lot more going on with his gameplay this time.
Fantastic mix-up. I'm curious, that must have been an input error because that was a full punish from Scott Vermillion.
I like the patience that I'm seeing from him this time, though. He doesn't seem to be as scrambly as he was in the first match. Okay, bait. Oh, that was
full
nice.
punish. A change in this patch in 2.0. Even if you get hit by an assist with a reversal punish, you still get locked out from your cross burst.
All right. Super.
Scott Vermillion setting up those glyphs for an incoming setup, potentially. Sandwich. Easy mix-up, and that's yet another fast match. I think these players are very momentum-based right now.
I would agree, and so it really seems like whoever gets their momentum going first is the one who's going to really run with it that match. So let's see what happens here. I'm really curious.
Round start 5A by Scott Vermillion, not unheard of because the 5A on Weiss is so good.
Okay, good pickup by Diddley with the Ruby.
This is going to be not a whole lot of damage, but a solid setup in the corner. And what's good about these setups that Diddley has, she gets to preserve a lot of that cross gauge.
Does.
Good call out on the instant overhead. I'd like to see Scott Vermillion maybe teching forward in the corner.
Yeah, I think that would help him out a whole lot if he would do that.
I think that's probably one thing that'll help him the most. Now George is still out. George slowly, you hear him ribbit in the corner.
Yeah. Ribbit, ribbit. Oh, there's
there are two
multiple
Georges.
Oh.
Let's go, George.
What a DP.
Slow walk.
Oh, I like that Scott Vermillion hit the George to make it go off and then get rid of it.
Diddley could have run up and gone for unblockable air reversal, but decided not to.
Okay, so Weiss
active
with a
switch,
sliver.
Active switch combos. Not only does Scott Vermillion get the character out, he gets the damage in. And one thing to note when you active switch, you get a damage boost as well.
In addition to a faster recovery on your now assist character.
Good air to air. Locked out. This might be a dead character. Using EX and a super.
Okay.
And probably what I would consider the problem.
Oh my goodness, Rachel is living with a sliver.
5v punish. Rachel, as I said, probably the biggest problem on Diddley's team because no one really knows how to play against Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel a very little used character, so character unfamiliarity does come into play here. All right, so Scott used up all of that meter, waited it out, and then just took his time.
Scott Vermillion figuring out what to do against Diddley. That first match was all Diddley. That second match, all Scott Vermillion. This match, they're both adapting a little more. And Diddley choosing to go right back into it, confident that she knows what's going on.
Yeah, like we said earlier, these are both very momentum-based players, so I think taking a break would be a little bit more detrimental to their mental state.
That was cheap. I've seen Scott Vermillion do that a million times, but I'm going to say it again, that was cheap.
All right, so cross combo, Rachel gets right out of there.
Reset back to neutral. Diddley using Rachel just to fly across the screen. And good push block by Scott Vermillion. Potentially option select if Diddley had gone for an instant overhead, Scott Vermillion would have gotten DP. But because Diddley went for the second hit, it was a push block.
Right.
Things you know when you have a Rachel player at your locals.
That's awesome. Okay,
but resetting to neutral and using cross combo just to maintain full screen pressure from both characters. Ruby with her big scythe buttons and fantastic air to air.
Yeah, a lot of this has been just little damage here, little damage there. But as I say that, there was a brief happy birthday from Scott Vermillion, but he still stayed with Ruby and kills her.
This is a strong showing from Scott Vermillion. Good push block by Diddley, getting out of the unreactable 50-50. And speaking of unreactable 50-50s, nice overhead by Diddley.
Yeah, great blocking from Scott there.
Double instant overhead, that was super cheap. Diddley showing us that she is not to be slept on.
No, she's definitely not out of it.
Yo, just all the junk on screen.
But Scott doing a really good job navigating all of it.
Scott Vermillion potentially baiting out a DP by just poking with 5A into 5A into 5A.
Confirmed from Diddley.
Set up. Just litter the screen with junk.
So this is probably the most even match we've seen. No meter. Oh, Scott Vermillion.
Weiss on her own doesn't do a whole lot of damage, and we see that now. Not doing very well.
Oh, the patience from Scott, and he
that
takes
air to air JA.
That was fantastic.
Weiss is, Ice Rapier coming in super clutch. Squad Vermillion makes it into top 8.
Right.
Loser's side.
So we are now at our top 8.
These were such good matches.
Right, so I know on winner's side we will be seeing LTL, Elion, Seth, and Omnix.
That's a fantastic. That's an amazing top 8.
We will be seeing Scott Vermillion again, and a couple other as well. Kuroko. We'll be seeing him and Days. So this is going to be a really, really fun top 8.
I'm excited.
We're going to do a couple ads, but please stick around and stay on this channel, Low Kick, so that you can stay tuned for BB Tag Top 8 here at Frosty Faustings. All right, so let's run these ads.
BlazBlue Fantasy Versus, we got it on demo. Coming out in a month.
All right, and we have BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, the game you're seeing right now, version 2.0. Tons of fun. Pick it up on Switch, PS4, or on Steam.
And new characters as well. We saw a bunch like Blitztank.
Blitztank, Yumi. It's
the
great.
most precious boy. Also the Acceleration Gaming. Have some sick hoodies. I believe we have use discount code Frosty for 10% off at checkout.
We have the Ready Games to compete in mini games to win cash prizes. You can download that on the App Store or on Google Play. And if you use secret code Frosty, you get access to an exclusive game pool.
And Naptown Clutch coming up soon. That's in April.
Yeah,
playing all the games you see below and likely many more on side tournaments.
Yeah, going to be a really fun time. I'm going to try to make it out to that tournament too, because that's pretty close to where I am. So Indianapolis, Indiana, end of April. Come out for Naptown Clutch.
And Second City Smash also helping out. They have a league going on, an invitational, where you can earn your spot in the Series 2 Invitational.
And Super TSV, which is going to be in New York City, March 6th to 7th. Last year, if you didn't catch it, it was a super fun tournament. Lots of fun games that you can see there just by the splash screen. Has some tag and BlazBlue, hopefully.
And Game Chambers, from house to home in 5 minutes. Create a portable arcade cabinet and comes full with arcade sticks on each side for authentic arcade feel.
Now, every Friday, this local in this area.
If you're in Chicago, Ignites and Skokie on Fridays every week. They've been moved previously on Thursday, playing the games you see below.
And it is sponsored by Low Kick. So
Low Kick runs those events. Yeah.
All right. So I'm Jadlyn. You can find me on Twitter at Jadlyn Gaming. I am a commentator, cosplayer, and competitor in BlazBlue Cross Tag. I'm actually piecing out right now to go compete in the cosplay competition.
Best of luck with that. I'm Dostro. You can find me at young_Dostro on Twitter. I just have some random tech. I like to do some commentary, some gameplay, and I'm excited to go watch some BB Tag Top 8.
Right.
Thank you so much for joining in. We will see you later.
Stay tuned for Top 8 of BB Tag coming up soon.